right, so here we go. The late breaking development. So my daughter's mom, she has a boyfriend and stuff. I guess age appropriate. She's my age. I just turned 53, as everybody know. But we were talking about somebody that I currently date, and the fact that she is, at this point she's like 20 something years, my junior. So, she's younger than me. And my daughter's mom is just like, yo, like really? Like you ain't ready to evolve and grow up and I guess get into a more serious, age appropriate relationship. So it's caused me to thinking. And, I had deleted all my like dating site profiles and stuff like that and was just trying to I guess like go on like whoever I meet and stuff like that. But because I'm in such, I'm in like areas or I'm in areas where women are younger, mostly, because it's like it's hip hop that when I go out, unless I'm at Percy's house or like one of my close friends, and all of them are coupled up, so it ain't like there's like extra women around or whatever. But when I go out and when there's extra women, 9 times out of 10, I'm in a demographic where they're younger, and unfortunately, for me, I guess fortunately being a guy, I'm able to, dabble in that realm right there, being with younger like women. But, since she made that comment, I've been, thinking about it and trying to, because I kind of think she's right, or I kind of think I'd have more in common with somebody that was closer to my age, and stuff like that. That really didn't want to go out and really ain't all about the life still, because I've done that already. I've been all over the place, both with dealing with rap. It's just taking me overseas. I've been all around the country and stuff like that. I haven't traveled, like the people who like really like to travel. I haven't like done that on leisure. It's always been about business and stuff like that. But so now anyway, without rambling, to the point where I'm thinking, I'm like, damn man, maybe she's right. So now I try to get back on these dating sites and stuff like that, and they've been coming out the woodwork. I got a good picture, I guess. I don't know, well, because my hair is lower, so it's a little bit dated of a picture. Not by much. It's like by a year, maybe 2 years or whatever. My hair was a lot lower or whatever. But generally, I look the same, so it's not like that would be catfishing or nothing. But they've been coming out the woodwork, man, and it's flattering. You know what I mean, to say the least. It's very, very flattering. Because if you work all the time, and like I said, where I hang out, with my leisure, it's not like there's a ton of like opportunities around. So like to get back on these dating sites and get this type of I guess vibe, for lack of a better term, is interesting. It's interesting, But I just had to say something about that because it's definitely it's just funny to me, whatever. Because I don't see myself as oh you look good or nothing. I'm not one of those guys. I'm probably more insecure than I am stuck up or conceited by any means. You know what I mean? I got a mirror that's right outside of my bathroom. That there's been times in my life that I didn't even look at myself in there leaving the bathroom. You know what I mean? With just a towel because I was just that unhappy with the way I looked or whatever. Meanwhile, the thing that I would receive from the public or from people would be like, "Oh man, you look great. Oh man, you look great. Oh shit, you're a handsome man," and blah blah blah. But I just, I don't see it that way. So I need things to fire. I need like, everything to be in order for me to even closely, not even that I ever agree with those type of statements, but before I can even see a little bit of where they're coming from, I have to work at it. I mean, I got to be in the gym and stuff like that. I had surgeries that prevented me from. I just had shoulder surgery last June, so I'm just now getting back in the gym. So you can imagine how I felt about my physical, like presence, uh, beforehand. And not that I'm so in love with it now, but at least I can touch the weight, and I know, by summer I'll at least be on the road back. Not to say that I'm gonna be back, but I'll be getting there. I'm getting there right now. I'm not like terribly disappointed with how I look, but you know, there's always room for improvement. You know, But yeah, it's just weird, man. I just wanted to come on and say that it's just weird to to be getting like this type of I guess to be attracting this amount of women, that are all like from all different walks of life, black, white, Spanish, successful or not successful and stuff like that. It's just it's interesting. It's interesting. You still got it, old boy. I get it from my dad. Well, actually, I think I get this part from my mom. My mom and my father are the same age. She looks great. Dad, my father, he's past his better days. You know what I mean? For whatever reason or whatever. My mom still looks amazing though. And I think luckily that aspect of me, I get from her. A lot of my attitude and my personality, I get from my dad. But looks wise, I think Deborah, you know, looked out. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm 50. I'm 53 now. 5'3". Remember when we was little and you seen somebody that was 53 years old? And you remember what you thought about them and what you said? You know what I hate? I hate when the young chick, they be like, yo, unk, or whatever. You know what I mean? This happened to me a couple of years ago on set somewhere, and one of the actresses we were using, I forget, I said something slick out the mouth, and she was just like, yo, with your old self and blah blah blah, or maybe even call me unk, and that was like the first time I ever heard that reference. So anyway, that took me back. I was just like, unk, because because I'm around all these young people, I kind of forget sometimes that I'm much older, and not even that I forget, but I get thrown off when they acknowledge the fact that I'm older. You know what I mean? Even with some dudes, like, because I'm in the rap business, so like some of these artists that I come across, they'll be like, "Yo, because you OG or whatever," and I forget, man. You know what I mean? Because like some of them have accolades that are impressive, and I kind of, at one point think that maybe we're peers, so to speak, or I guess equals, for lack of a better term. And little do I know, their perception of me is different. Malcolm always says that you don't realize how people perceive you, but he means it in nothing but a good way. And I really don't sometimes. I really don't. Like he couldn't be more right. Sometimes I'm like oblivious to it, you know, and I'll be so much at awe at their talent or something like that. And he'd be like, what are you kidding me? This person thinks blah, blah, blah of you and blah, blah, blah. It'll actually come out their mouth, of how they perceive me. And I'll be like thrown off. We went to 631 Studio last year. I'm talking in their waiting area, with a couple people, just talking regular, whatever. And the owner comes out. He's like, "Yo, as soon as I heard your voice, I knew there was Nolan Epps out there." It was like, bro, it was like so complimentary. It was like insane to me. You know what I mean? Because I've been so far removed. I'm not in that world. So the professional world, nobody gives a fuck. What do you do for me lately? The month's over, brand new month. What are you doing for me? If you ain't doing nothing, then you count for cock. I don't care where you went, who you work for, who you know. None of that matters. And then to be immersed in the rap business or the rap, you know, world, and then have these people acknowledge me, for things that I've done. And by no stretch, have I done anything that, in my opinion, that I've done anything that was so, amazing, let's just say. But I do understand what these guys go through, and but, like to me, it's like, damn, man, you guys got all these uh like things that you can use to get yourself on. Because when I was rapping back in the early 2000s and in the late 90s, we didn't have the internet like that. I had dial-up, bro, when I was sending thousands of emails, hundreds of emails a day, thousands, throughout the month. I was doing it on dial-up, AOL and all of that right there, and got lucky and found somebody that was willing to bring me and a few of my friends overseas, and expose me to like, to the touring world and stuff like that. And even before working with K Solo, that dude, I was a kid, and this was in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Even when you go like Let's Go Disco that I did, which is a house, song and I don't even, entertain that genre. It went to number two, in Europe. I don't get a dime from it, but I'm saying it went to number two, and my name is plastered all over that. You look it up on Spotify and Apple Music, you're gonna see my name, my whole name, and then you're gonna hear my whole voice, which is weird. And I don't, when I go to these places, it's not even like I'm bringing it up. I don't, like, because I guess I work with artists, and my title right now is artist development. So I don't really ever try to do anything to overshadow the artists that I work with. You know what I mean? Even though sometimes I know, when I do get a little bit of unexpected light. I can tell when it kind of like when it rubs them the wrong way, or when it's when the whole thing is not about them. It's different for them. You know what I mean? But this is something that I'm used to. Because of who I am, I guess, and because of how I perceive things and how I've been treated. I know that it can be intimidating. It could be like it can just be shunned on, you know what I mean, when all of a sudden somebody that rides for you all the time is now the person that's getting acknowledgement. You know what I mean? I saw this both with like when I worked for Tana, with Street Heat being his assistant. Sometimes we would show up. This happened a couple times. We would show up somewhere. They didn't meet him yet. And then when we both get out of the car, they assumed that I was the person that was in charge, and I wasn't. So, me understanding that, I elected to take on the responsibility of setting up his equipment, which was, knowledge for me. It gives me insight on what to call, on how to work this stuff. So it's good for me that way. Plus, it allows him to, immerse himself in the boss type role. If you're a director, you don't want nobody to really have that type of confusion. Or if you're somebody like me who can very easily not be there tomorrow, you don't really want that to happen. So you got to kind of really, be ahead of the curve and notice that. And, like, sure as I bring that up, it's happened a number of times, in a number of different facets, even professionally. I was thinking about this today when I was on the way home a minute ago. I was, with somebody that I worked with. He was my boss, of course, and we were with somebody who was a boss at a different location. And because me and this one guy in particular got along so well, he said, yo, me and this guy were going out to dinner at, a place called Tellers, which is around my way, a nice prestigious place. And, while I'm there, I remember I got up and I went to the bathroom as I'm like rinsing my face off, you know, thinking about where I am. I'm like, bro, you're at a table right now with over $1 million worth of salary. Meanwhile, I'm like the 70 or $80,000 guy there. And the other two people, because there was only three of us, those two people make up over $1 million in salary annually. It's like, unfortunate. And then, to boot that same, my guy that I was with that night in particular, on a different time, he said to me, "Bro, you don't understand. You got the world by the balls." And I'm like at this point, I think he was making $1 million a year. It's just bro, it's like, are you serious? I got the world by the balls. You the one that make $1 million a year. You're younger than me. You make, if you're not making a million, you make 2 inches from it, and yet your perception of me is that I got the world by the balls. And, I've thought about that statement, you know, more often than not, believe it or not. And I think about them during the times when I guess I'm most doubtful of myself, and that'd be what I go to remind myself, of how people perceive me, and that maybe I ought to take a page out of their book. So, I guess I'm saying this to say, saying all of that to say this, bro. It's never too late. And, how you, if you're insecure like me, how you perceive yourself is not all the time how it really is. Because people perceive you, in their own in their own way, and sometimes it's better than the way you perceive yourself, which, in my case has been, comforting, and it's been, reassuring, and stuff like that. Even today, I got a call from someone who was just like, yo, it's like with sponsorship for something that they're doing. At first, I'm thinking, these people are trying to get money from me. I don't got it. But really, it was just trying to pick my brain to see, what do I think, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they are more evolved than I've ever been, in that particular, at that particular, job or facet. And it's just weird, man. It's very complimentary. Shout out to XO because that's who called me. It's it's very you know complimentary. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it. And sometimes when I'm at my worst or like feeling like doubtful, I think of stuff like that. You know what I mean? And even as lucky as I've been, I still do have the people who are not so willing to give me those compliments, and I'm aware of that, with them. I'm, lucky for that. I'm not an idiot, so and I do like kind of know how to read people, and I can read even the things that they think, that I don't get, or I see what like when you're hiding the cards, I see what you're hiding, and so, with that being said, I don't know. It feels like I'm rambling, so I'm going to cut it short, especially because I done lost where I was going with it. But, I think you guys get the gist of it. I just, for those of you that are with me, and back me up in whatever way you do, I appreciate it. For those of you that hate on me, kind of, which is not a lot of people, but even for you guys, I appreciate it though. Because everybody is somebody. They all say the same thing. You need somebody to hate on you, sometimes. It gives you a little kick in the ass, maybe, or it just keeps your universe running. I don't know what it does, but I do appreciate that. I appreciate the hate. I appreciate the love, even though sometimes I don't see what you guys see, you know, and, I'm glad that, for most of you that I've been able to help out in whatever way, whether it's, whatever way, whether it's professionally or, emotionally, something that you're dealing with, and I was just an ear for you to talk to. I appreciate that because believe it or not, whatever you were going through, if I haven't gone through it, it kind of feels like I have now. You know what I mean? Because I went through it with you. You know what I mean? So I thank you for that, and I thank the people who do support me, and and try to give me guidance in whatever facet, and whichever way, sometimes financially, sometimes it's just with words, I appreciate it, and then I'm not one of those dudes. I think I kind of I like to acknowledge it and say it when it happens. I try to, because whatever, bro. I feel I'm kind of lucky in that aspect. I've been very lucky with the people that I surround myself with, even the haters, and even the people that are, quote, not good for me. Sometimes it's bad, but most times it's good, and I appreciate it. I love you guys.